Hey, good evening, everybody. Peter Vexelman here. It's Tuesday Night Live, 7 p.m. Eastern, and whatever time zone you're calling in from. Welcome, welcome. So glad to see you guys. We got a bunch of people jumping on, popping on. We're going to just take the usual couple minutes, let everybody log on, settle in. I got guys, I tell you what, you are going to be extremely, extremely happy that you're logging in tonight. I got a great partner on the phone, and I don't think there's going to be a single person that is not going to be able to relate to something that we're going to talk about tonight. I mean, that's just how special this guy is, and what an amazing story he has. So as everybody's logging in, logging on, hope everyone's having a great day, great beginning of the week. Hey, they're opening up the country, right? I mean, it's like 2 weeks ago, we were like literally talking from a totally different perspective, right? 3 weeks ago, we were like all locked down, all like, from the same place, not being able to do anything. Well, times are changing, right? Times are changing. I know here in Georgia, we're pretty much wide open, doing our thing. Everybody's back to work. Restaurants are open. We were just at a restaurant a night or two ago. Everything is open. Hopefully it's the same way wherever you guys are. Well, if Julie was here tonight, we all know what she say. Let us know where you're dialing in from. So in the chat box, I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know where we got people from. We got Delaware. We got people from New York. We got people from Buffalo, Washington, D.C. So glad to have you here with us tonight, guys. We're going to get started here in a couple short minutes. We'd like to get just a little time for everybody to call in, dial in. Some people are on the phone. Some people are on the Zoom. I think Zoom is becoming like a verb, right? Like Kleenex became a verb, right? Or a noun, I guess. Do you have a Kleenex, the name of the company? Well, it's like in the last couple months, we're all Zooming, right? So this amazing technology is like Xerox. That's right. My prediction is that Zoom will appear in the dictionary in the next year or two, not as the name of a company, but as a verb of what you should be doing. We got Florida in the house, Texas in the house. Dallas Cowboys, love that team. So glad you guys are joining us. We got a really special partner here tonight. Tonight, sometimes I say, get your pen and paper out, take some notes, because we're going to give you like some really meaty stuff. I'll say tonight, just get comfortable. Get comfortable. Get in an easy chair. If you got family members around, bring them. Tonight's gonna be really cool because this is literally for anyone. Like if my kids were here tonight, I'd be like, hey, listen to who I'm about ready to talk to, because this is literally an inspirational story. If you got business people in the house, this is great for them, because this is like a case study in how a business needs to be built and is built. If you're a partner of ours, this is amazing because you will relate to our partner's story tonight. If you're looking to become a partner of ours, this is a great night to be with us, because you will see what it means to be a partner with us. You'll see what it takes to be a partner. So again, this is just one of those things where you just kind of sit back, relax, and just soak it all in. Everyone's going to everyone's going to feel a part of this story as it personally relates to them. So we still got people logging in and dialing in. I want to give everybody their fair share of time to do that. We will get started here in just a couple minutes. Man, I see all these people logging in and dialing in from what it seems. I was going to say no one from the West Coast, but here we go. We got Colorado. What's the westernmost part of the U.S. somebody's dialing in from tonight? See a couple Colorados. Oh, there it is. Only took 1 minute. California, I guess you're not going to get any more. Oregon, Ventura County, I guess you're not going to get any more west than what part of Oregon? We got somebody in from tonight. Los Angeles, yep, you're not going to get any more west coast than there. Portland, I love it, I love it, I love it. I heard that's amazingly beautiful country there. So we will be getting started here in just a second. Again, guys, thank you for joining us. This is like our Binghamton, New York. I like it. Dahlonega is like literally, we're here in town tonight, and my partner Julie is in Dahlonega, and right in, like, if I look outside straight ahead, her truck is there. She's got my car and I got her truck, because we bought some paintings for this place and wasn't big enough. They were too big to fit inside my car, but anything could fit inside Julie's super duper truck. Toledo, Ohio. All right, I love it. Actually, I grew up in Akron, Ohio. So very, very familiar with Toledo. Went to Miami University, southern part of Ohio. Maryland in a house. I like it. I like it. Philly, PA. Used to go skiing in Pennsylvania. Forgot all the ski resorts now, but we used to go to like 2 or 3 Poconos. Yep. We used to go to a couple more other ones too. So yes, very, very familiar with all of these places. So cool, so cool as we're building this community of partners across the United States. We, to a degree, many times we just call them family members now, but it's so cool when we were one-dimensional, doing our own deals in our own kind of backyard. We had ourselves, but now we have people and an organization and partners that literally span the whole United States, from East Coast to West Coast, from up north to down south. So very, very, very cool. All right, guys. Well, let's do this. One of the ways that I love to start our Tuesday night calls or webinars is just to address you all, the people that are listening. And by the way, you hear me talk about this all the time. Our Tuesday night calls is the most consistent thing we have done here at Partner Driven. What I mean by that is we're always like tweaking things, trying to improve things, making a right turn, making a left turn. But the Tuesday night calls have been like our staple of this organization for an extremely long time. And the reason for that is that as we grow, as we expand, as we do deals in different parts of the country, as we introduce different products, technology to the investor world, the one thing across the board we have in common with is new people coming to our world. The number one way people get into our worlds, and the one thing they constantly reference with us, are these Tuesday night calls. I mean, it is amazing that, like, when we have our welcome calls or onboarding meetings, how many people say, "Oh yeah, I've been following you. I've been listening to those Tuesday night, calls." So we know they have an impact, and we are like truly, truly, truly committed to being here for you guys. Having said this, I will also tell you the other thing we found, that there's 2 types of individuals that are here tonight. Some of y'all are partners. Some of y'all we are like actively doing deals with. Some of you guys are just getting started. We haven't done any deals with. Some of you we're in a process of doing deals with. Some of y'all we've already closed deals with. But you are part of our partner-driven community. And we're so glad you guys are here. And you're here for the same reason I would have been here 20 years ago when I got started. Because like I got started actually 22 years ago. I managed to screw it all up, pretty much as soon as I got in, lost all my money, lost all my credibility, lost, whatever there was to lose 22 years ago, I lost. It didn't take me too long to lose it either. I was like a sprint to the bottom. And then as I started recovering and I started coming out of this huge hole I created for myself, I started gravitating towards other successful real estate investors. You know, they became my mentors, they became my friends. Some of them became my partners in some deals. And the one thing I learned back then is anytime any of them were anywhere, I was there, right? So if one of my mentors back then was doing some kind of let's say a meeting, boom, I'd be there. If they were being interviewed somewhere, I'd be right in the audience. And it was just, you know, I gravitated because I knew that if I needed to connect with them as much as possible. And so again, some of you guys are partners already. You're very active with us. You're involved with us. And this Tuesday night is just another chance for you to connect with us. So glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know what I'm going to tell you, right? Every time we connect, and with our partners, we literally have the ability to connect on a daily basis. But it's very simple. As a partner, you need to recharge, reset, recommit, and let's get to the next level, right? Whatever that takes. Some of you guys are not part of anything that we do here at Partner Driven. Some of you guys are literally just checking us out. You're checking us out because you might have seen us, heard us. Some of you guys have been referred here by somebody else, and you're trying to figure out, what is this partner-driven model all about? What is this community all about? What does it mean for you to potentially join our world, to potentially be our partner? And this is one way that you check us out, right? And again, I'm so glad you guys are here. And I will just make this very short, but the partner-driven model is very simple. It is us as an investment company. And by the way, guys, we're not a new kid in the block. I've been at this thing for 22 years. I've had my share of ups. I've shared my share of downs, but I'm still standing, okay? I've done thousands and thousands of real estate deals. And a while back, we basically said, we made this corporate decision that we want to grow and expand as an investment company across the United States. And we want to do it not by ourselves because it's really too difficult. Real estate is still a very local business. You always need somebody local if you're going to have any kind of significant impact in that market. So we decided we're going to grow, we're going to expand with partners. That's it. And so we are actively looking for more and more partners to join our organization. For us, there's a huge benefit to having a local partner, okay? Like for instance, literally before we got on this call, I was texting with one of our partners, Kenny, and he was just telling me about a deal he was looking at as a duplex. And, he texted me this, I text him this, he texted me this, I text him that. And so this is maybe a deal we'll do, but this is a deal I would have never, ever had access to had I not had Kenny as a partner. So for us, we're always looking for more partners because our local partners give us the ability to do more and more deals. People always say, well, gosh, Pete, what's in it for you? Like, why are you doing this? Well, what's in it for us is it gives us a chance to grow and expand. We're always looking for new partners. But on the flip side, I'm always also never too shy to say that the real benefit is to the local partner, okay? Because what Kenny gets, in return is very simple. He has the ability to get coached and mentored by myself and my whole team literally on a daily basis, okay? So Kenny gets a tremendous amount of knowledge, a tremendous amount of know-how. Our partners, no matter when they start with us, whether it's a ground zero at a high level, our partners get to be very, very savvy as investors. The second thing someone like Kenny or potentially a new partner gets is technology. We believe that technology in today's marketplace is absolutely critical. You got to have it. You absolutely, positively have to have it. You need it. If you don't have technology, you're going to lose. And let me explain to you why technology is so important today. When I got in this business 20-some years ago, there was no technology. So I didn't need technology, all right? Because I wasn't competing against the guy with technology. Today, if you don't use technology, you are going to lose in real estate, okay? Because very simply, you can't compete against technology. It's the speed, it's the systems, it's the processes. So you need the latest and the greatest technology as a partner of ours. you get access to what I believe is the over-the-top technology out there. It's our deal-driven app. It is amazing. You could literally point and click. You could do everything you need from the comforts of your home. So the second thing is you get as a partner, you get the latest and greatest technology. The third thing is we're going to generate leads for you. The next thing is once we find the right deal, we're going to walk you through step by step that deal. If that deal needs money, I'm going to provide 100% of the capital. And even if it doesn't need money, when you work with our team as a partner, you're going to be able to do things with deals that you would have never, ever been able to do before. So I'm going to provide the capital to do the deals, or I'm going to show you how to structure deals in a way you've never seen before. If for some reason that deal needs construction, which a lot of deals do, our construction outfit is going to help you fix it. We put it in the market, sell it, split the profits down the middle, 50-50. That is the partner-driven model. So you get coaching, you get mentoring, you get technology, you get leads, you get money, you get construction, and you get 50% of the profit on top of that. Pretty cool. So for those of you that are not yet our partner, we'd love for you to join our partner program, and you could do that anytime by just simply going to www.partnerdriven.com, fill in your information there, and one of our team members will touch base with you, and before you know it, we could be partnering, doing deals together. All right, done with preliminary stuff. Let's get into the meat of things. Guys, I'm telling you what, we got a really, 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 really amazing partner on a phone with us tonight. And the reason I love having partners as part of these Tuesday night webinars, it's a relatability thing. You know, a lot of times, well, I know when I got started, you know, if I would have looked at somebody 20 years ahead of me, the first thing I would have said is, well, they're 20 years ahead of me, right? I mean, you know, or, well, gosh, look how far they are, or look, they did it, I don't know if I could do it. And so our partners are just very relatable. You know, it gives you the ability to kind of put yourself in their shoes. And a partner we have on with us tonight is no question, 100% reality, the most probably popular partner we have, not just in terms of our internal organization, but I think among other partners. It's the one person that so many of you guys talk to me about, ask me about, you know, write to us, email us about, and all this. So I'm going to bring Jamari Spruill on. Jamari, you there?
Hey, everybody. How you doing? What's up,
there you go. Hey, are you speaking into the phone?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you? Maybe we got to put that mic back on you.
Okay.
See, this is why we do these things live. You understand that.
Okay. Can you hear me? Is it static?
Nope. It's all good. Perfect.
Okay. Cool.
There you go. All right. Jamari, man, you the man. What can I say? I could literally like not even have you on tonight and just talk about you. And I think that'll be just as cool. But first of all, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a quick, and I want to spend the majority of our time from the time that, you know, you've been with us and the things that have happened and the challenges we've had and the successes we've had, but just a quick introduction. Before real estate, before us, tell us a little bit about Jamari.
Okay. Well, I was working in a warehouse, a logistics company, and I actually ran into y'all a while back. You know, I kind of stumbled, made my way through real estate in the early days, like right around the time, right before the market had crashed. I was stumbling around. I went to a hotel seminar, and then I kind of just let it go for a minute. Then I ran into you and Julie. But ultimately, I was just, you know, just kind of making my way in the logistics company, just, you know, just typical 9-to-5er.
The one thing that I'm always curious about, because I had my own personal reasons, but why did you want to transition and become a real estate investor? What's the one thing, what are the things you did not have that you wanted to get out of real estate?
man, when I first started looking into real estate, I remember, I'll never forget, it was an article on the cover of Times Magazine, and it was a house with money busting out of it. And it was like, this is why people are going gaga for real estate. And it was at that moment I caught the bug. I was like, wow, you can actually attain freedom, financial freedom, and you don't have to be, slaving away at a job with real estate. And I was like, man, and then I saw that you started out doing the bird dogs. Like, man, I could close a deal. I can make, $1,000 a month, extra $2,000 a month. Just that idea, and then knowing that there was a better way. That's what that's what got me into it. That's when I knew I got the bug.
Now, initially, and I really don't know the answer to this question. Did you start before you met us, or did you literally start when you met us?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good question. I I started way back. I went to this hotel seminar off of Wesley Chapel, off of Wesley Chapel Road here in Atlanta, and that's when I first learned about real estate. That's when I first started doing like the bird dog thing, and then just started stumbling around. That's when I really just started driving for dollars early, looking for properties. And then I ran into y'all a few years later, and then I actually got my first bird dog referral fee from a good guy, Mark Evans, and that's when he referred me to you.
Amazing. Yeah, no, Mark and I have known each other for years.
Yeah.
This is the thing that the one thing that I always like to find out from people, and someone like you, I mean, we're not the only game in town. I mean, you could have aligned yourself with a guru, you could have aligned yourself with someone else. What was the one thing about our organization, aside from Mark referring, and I appreciate that, what was the one thing about our organization that kind of intrigued you?
You were always very hands-on with everything, Peter. The way you always let everybody into your organization, like, this is what we do, this is our day-to-day, to let me know that, one, you are actually doing it. You're actually in the field making the plays. And two, the thing that really, when I really jumped on full throttle, was this whole partner thing, the partner program. Like, find it, we fund it. You bring the deal, we partner with you, you do it. When I heard that, I was like, oh man, I got to link back up with them because it's a done deal. I mean, if there's nothing else like that.
You have an amazingly inspirational story. But the other thing, Jamari, that I absolutely love about you, you have amazingly inspirational characteristics about you. And I want to talk about that here in a little bit. Let's take it back to when you got started, right? Now,
Okay.
when you got started with us, you were already, what, a millionaire?
No, I wish. I was I was just making my way. I was still I was in between jobs. I was basically doing Uber Eats, just to pay rent. And coincidentally, that's what got me started. That's what really got me familiar with the city and everything, driving for dollars. That's how I really came to my own with driving for dollars, was through Uber Eats.
Now, there's one part that a story I want you to tell. And I can't remember the details of it, so you're going to have to help me out. Said that you actually donated something to make some money when you got started.
Yeah. Check this out. I don't know if you can see it. That's my area on my arm right there. I literally, y'all, when I started, I was doing Uber Eats, and I literally went to nearest plasma donation center and literally donated plasma just to have gas in my car, just to have envelopes where I could start doing the mailers. I listened to Peter, and I took it to heart. Whatever it takes, y'all. So I was like, if I got to donate plasma for a little bit just to do driving for dollars, just to mail these envelopes, and I'm gonna do it. And I did whatever it took.
Amazing. So, and when I got started, I went through the same stuff. I slept in my car for a while. I was getting, people buy newer cars, you upgrade to a newer thing. I was constantly downgrading for the first 2 years to worse and worse. That was like my history. What do you think was what was in you to have that? Was it your parents? Was it the way you were brought up? Was it some things that happened to you in the past? I mean, not too many people are going to literally donate parts of their body to put gas in their car to do driving for dollars or to do some direct mail. So where'd that come from?
I guess it was a combination of, me work, hard work, work ethic on my 9-to-5 job. But for the most part, it was, I knew this was different than all the other things I've seen in real estate. And I knew if I just stuck to it and did whatever it took. And I thought, I wasn't like this before. It's like I became a different version of myself to get to that point. Like whatever it took, whatever sacrifices I was going to do to get this deal, I was going to do it. My mind was made up. I was like, I don't care what I got to do, and because I knew the vision that y'all had for this program was real, and I was going to do whatever it took to get in there.
It's interesting when I got started, and I, like I said, I took a huge fall, made all the mistakes. To me personally, the big deal was like, I had nothing to go back to.
Right.
There's some people that, they're rocket scientists, they're brain surgeons, they're astronauts. So if they don't make it here, well, okay, I'll go back to being an astronaut and fly to the moon. Like I had nothing,
Yeah.
My degree was literally BS.
Mm-hmm.
My financial outlook was like 0. So I think to me, the biggest thing was, when I was going through all my, disasters in the first, 3 or so years in this business, it was just, I had no other options.
Right.
I literally had no other options. So one thing I'm curious, did you kind of put yourself in that position too? Or did you kind of realize that it's like this, or this is it. This is for me. I got to make it in this because there ain't nothing else I could do. I can get the results of this business.
I had, I had no plan B. I had no plan B, Peter. I was like, I visualized the world if I achieved my goal, if I got that first deal. And then I visualized the world if I didn't get that goal and what that looked like. And I didn't like that. I was like, I got to stay on this path and I got to get to this goal. Otherwise, it's nothing from there. I have no plan B. It's all or nothing,
The one thing, Jamari, I totally love about you is just this is so basic, but it's like a game changer for so many people. You follow instructions, right? Like when I say that, I know people are listening to me are like, yeah, no kidding. But you'll be shocked how many people don't. They say they do until they don't. And usually when they don't is usually when they come up with these amazing excuses why they don't want to follow instructions. So one of the things that we here at Partner Driven believe in and buy into is that there are certain things in this business that work better than others. I know that. I've been at this thing for so many years that, there's things I did 5 years ago I don't do anymore for one very basic reason. They don't work. There's things I do now that I didn't do 5 years ago. Again, because there's certain things back then didn't work that work now. And so this is kind of I call it an ebb and flow. This business constantly changes. And so all this to say is that one, not all, but one of the techniques that works in terms of marketing and finding deals in today's marketplace is just simply driving for dollars. That's when you kind of get out there, identify certain deals, go after them and all this. You kind of just bought into that. No one had to beat you over the head. You didn't constantly call us and say, well, no, that doesn't work. I got this other strategy. So talk about driving for dollars. What is it like? Talk about Jamari and driving for dollars. Cause I think with you, the two, one, and is it because you did do Uber Eats? For you was just a natural thing. Is it because you kind of just listened to us? Was it a combination thereof? Talk about driving for dollars and all that.
Oh man, my driving for dollars journey. I love it first of all, but it all came from what y'all said. You were going over the ways to find deals. And you said the best way that y'all seen so far is driving for dollars, So I took that to heart. I talked to Julie and she said, try to document your journey whenever you can. That will really help us out. So I was like, I was at the gym. As soon as I got off the phone with her, I went and did my first driving for dollars video and never looked back. And then I just started. And Uber Eats was a very, very seamless transition from going, driving for dollars, because I was basically driving for dollars for money while I was doing Uber Eats. So I was driving around making deliveries and looking for properties, and that's how I really became familiar with the Atlanta market. So it was kind of natural for me, but it was y'all's advice and knowing that y'all do this, y'all really do this, y'all really close deals like this. That's what led me to know that just stick. And then the other thing, focus on one thing. There's a book called The One Thing. I focused on that and that entirely. And I said, however long it takes me to do this, I'm going to keep driving. I'm going to keep looking for properties until I get that deal.
By the way, I love the book you referenced. I kind of wrote a book a little bit along the lines like that too, a couple of years ago. And I called it Brilliant at the Basics.
Yep.
And the Brilliant at the Basics is just a very simple concept. Is that you just figure out a couple things that work and you become brilliant at them. Whereas so many people, I call it spinning plates, right? And
right.
I'm sure you've seen it, Jamari. Like, you meet these people, they have like 30 things going on, like 30, 40 things going on, right? And then you start analyzing them and none of them are working. Like nothing works. I got 50 plates I'm spinning, 20,000 strategies, 60 techniques. And then you're like, well, which one is working? Nothing's working. but you are the ultimate definition of the one thing. You're the ultimate definition, brilliant at the basics. It's where do you think that part of the world, that part of you, where does that come from? Well, like, again, I'm just always curious about successful people like yourself. Did you learn to learn? Did somebody tell you a long time ago, hey, listen to people more successful? Because you will be shocked. And I say this day in and day out. The number one reason I think some people do not become successful in our world, they don't listen. They do it themselves. They come in for obvious reasons because what they're doing isn't working. They start doing things with us. They refuse to do what we tell them. They continue doing the things that aren't working. It obviously doesn't work out.
Yeah.
They quit. Of course, it's always our fault. So what is it in you that made you think I'm just going to listen to these guys? Because it's not like we grew up together. It's not like we've known each other for 50 years. Our relationship wasn't as tight as you are with our organization now. It wasn't back then. What made you back then even listen to what the heck to what we were telling you?
I knew y'all were in the field doing exactly this thing because I spoke to Julie and I spoke to you. But a wise man by the name of Bob Proctor said this, and I took it to heart. He said, find somebody that's doing what you want to do at a much, much higher level and do exactly what they tell you. So I took that to heart. Y'all told me to look for these deals driving for dollars and y'all gave me clear instructions on how to talk to sellers, how to negotiate and everything. So I took exactly that way. And I've always been like that, P. I don't know why. And once I get that in my mind, once I get something in my mind like that, I just keep doing it, consistently. I just keep doing it over and over and over again. That's worked for me or against me. That's just how I am sometimes, most of the time.
Another thing that I love about you is timelines. And what I mean by timelines is this. A lot of people, whether it's in this business or whatever they do, they put a timeline on it, right? And it's always an artificial timeline. It's always like, where the heck did you even figure this timeline out? But it goes something like this. They get started in this. 3 weeks go by, 2 months go by, 3 months go by, whatever. And for some reason, they're not where they want to be. Now, who tells them where they need to be? It's beyond me. They don't even know. But they come up with these artificial things like, I've been doing this for 2 months and I'm not where I want to be. I'm like, where do you want to be? Well, I should be further. Well, who told you should be further, right? So people put artificial timelines, and it's a huge factor why most people never become successful. Because they just come up with these ideas like, I've been doing such and such for so long. I'm not such and such place. So it doesn't work. You're totally opposite of that. You did not get in this business, let's say with us, and become an overnight success story. Hell, it took me 3 years to make zero money in this business. Okay, so I understand what it means not to be a success story. talk a little bit about that to people. Like, how do you think, like, why didn't you quit in the first 2 months? Why didn't you quit in the first 4 or 5 months when you didn't have a deal? Like, why not? I mean, a lot of people do quit. A lot of people get in 30 days. They don't make their first million. They're out. Why not you?
I read this book by, I think it was Darren Hardy, called Willpower Is Not Enough. And he talked about the importance of environment. That's why I always stay connected with y'all. I always stay close to y'all. I always stay on the phone with you and Julie. I always stayed in the right environment, and then I just kept my head down and kept going. Now, there were people that kind of discouraged me, like, oh, you're doing this for too long and haven't closed the deal. But I knew if I stayed connected with y'all, I stayed in the right environment, and I kept my head down and kept going, I would eventually close the deal. Now, y'all, I'm gonna be honest, it took me a year to get my first deal. And a lot of y'all I talk to don't really like that, but it's the honest. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes you can close the deal in a week. Sometimes it takes a year, But I knew if I kept doing whatever it took for however long it took me to get the deal, I would get it.
I love what you're saying. Let me ask you a question. So as you were going through these initial times where you weren't seeing success, by the way, I never equate success in terms of money in the beginning. That's like very amateur people that equate success in terms of how much money they made up front. That's like total amateur hour to me. That's like somebody who has no concept of what success is all about. To me, success in the beginning is finding progress, learning, growing, moving forward, all those kind of things. Talk to me about how we at Partner Driven helped you through that initial time where you did see success. You didn't see success in the first week. You didn't see success in the first month. Did our organization help you along the way through that?
Yes. I was always getting pep talks from you and Julie, always going on the coaching calls, always going on the webbies with like this, where y'all talked about what to do when you don't get a deal, how to overcome objections and things like that. And y'all always help me every step of the way, when the deal, when I throughout every step in the deal, from the contract and when the contract falls out, you always give me encouraging advice on how to keep going. That's one thing. That's why I always stay close, guys. And sometimes when it gets rough, you need somebody like in your environment, somebody that can help you, not somebody just going to be doom and gloom when things go wrong to be like, I told you so. So staying connected to the organization is very important.
All right, so let's take it back a little bit.
Okay.
You were doing this for several months, up to a year, I think you said.
Yep.
And here it is. Back then, it was our first deal.
Yep.
We're starting to get some tracking. There you go. Say something.
Okay.
No, do you unplug? No, just unplug it totally.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
there you go. Yeah, just talk. Okay, cool. Talk us through your first deal. How'd you find it? Give us some numbers.
First deal. Now here's the thing. I found a property from this seller driving for dollars, right? That deal didn't work out, but I asked the money question. I call this the money question. Always ask this, guys, which is, do you have any other properties? He had another property in Forest Park. That was the one that worked out, and so we put it under contract for, I think it was 55, and we sold it for 60. It wasn't a lot, but man, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like a millionaire when I closed that one, because it took so long to get there.
And I know we've done multiple deals, obviously, but remind me, was Jason involved in that deal or no?
Oh yeah. See, that's another thing.
Walk through that. That's a cool part of what we do here.
Okay, yeah. So partner driven. I did it the partner driven way, y'all. I found the property, put it under contract, and I wholesale with the local wholesaler in my area. I call him the Southside Legend, Jason Chester. He brought the buyer, and then I brought the seller. He brought the buyer. We wholesaled it together, and that's how we did the deal.
That's huge. And I know, in Jamari, you're using some really sophisticated words now, wholesaling and all that. But this is a huge advantage for those of you that might not follow our model. But what we're doing is we're literally building a network, a community of people across the nation, and we all do deals together. So what Jamari did, he found the first deal, and we're just selling it off as is. We weren't doing any work to it. And what happened is another of our partners, Jason and I, we go back like 8 years now. Jason found a buyer for this deal. And so what happened is, we made money, Jamari made money, and Jason made money. But that's the power of real estate. I always tell people it's all about leverage. A lot of people think it's about leveraging money, which it is. You leverage money in real estate and all of this. But even more important, even bigger, you leverage people in real estate. And so that's the other thing that the partner-driven world allows you to do. It allows you to leverage a network. You find a deal here, we have a buyer here, we have somebody that brings in the seller here and all this. So that's awesome. Did you come to my place to get your check there, or not in the first deal?
Not in the first one. I came to the office.
All right, so Jamari just happens to be, obviously you guys probably figured out by now, Jamari happens to be in an area that he can get to our office. So he went to our office, picked it up. What was the deal? Which deal was it? Remember when you came to when I had a place on a belt line? Was that the second deal?
That was the third one when I met you down right down from the house. Yeah.
This is a really cool story. So, well, first of all, before I get into what I want to say, tell us about that third deal. How did you find it?
Third deal? Oh, it was a probate deal. Turns out that I also found driving for dollars.
Shock.
Found that one. Well, I looked up the Laura helped me skip trace it. Y'all probably know Laura from the Partner Driven office. She helped me skip trace it. Found out that the owner was deceased. I went down to the local courthouse and looked.
Let's talk through this. This is very important what you're talking about. First of all, how did you even find that property?
Oh, I found the property driving for dollars.
Okay, and so our office for those individuals who don't understand skip tracing, explain what skip tracing is.
Okay, skip tracing is, I turned in the address and I said, I need to know the seller's contact information on this address. So Laura went, and did research on her computer and came back with the seller's contact information, the phone number, the name, the phone number.
Jamari goes out there, finds a potential deal that we teach him how to find. There's certain properties that are more likely to be sold than others. He turns that address back to our office. We did skip tracing, although now you can do it all in our deal-driven app. You contact the owner, and was it probated, you said?
It was probated.
Okay, so who are you talking to? The executor, or were you talking already to people that got the property?
Yeah, so I had to go get the information from the courthouse, and then I found the person basically the administrator.
Okay, so you're talking to administrator, and you negotiate, or you get the deal down to what price?
We got the deal down to
$30,000. What do we do?
We ended up exiting out for. We sold it for $45,000.
As is. Did we do any work to it?
No, as is. We took it as is.
So we put it. We got it for 30, as is. Sell it for 45. Was Jason involved in that one, or is that?
He was also, again, the partner-driven way.
Awesome. So here it is again. Jamari puts under contract, does what it needs. We get another partner involved. He's got a lot of buyers. He moves it, sells it for 45. And I think you said that was your third deal. So you came to where I lived on that one, didn't you?
Yeah, right up the street. I remember. I'll never forget that one.
Yeah, that was awesome. And I had a chance. We did a quick Facebook Live, and that was absolutely awesome. So let me ask you this. This is very important for I think for some people to hear. So you've been doing this for a little bit now. You're not a new kid on the block. You started out driving for dollars because it was, let's face it, it's not something that costs $1 million to do. All you got to do is sell parts of your body to do it, and off you go. You've done multiple deals, made money. How are you finding your deals now?
In this new COVID-19 era we're in, because of this beer virus, that slowed me down a little bit. But I was able, one of the ones I have under contract now, I found it virtual driving for dollars on
Talk
the deal.
about that.
Okay, so right up the street from where I live, I went in through the Deal Driven app, and then I was navigating on the streets, you know, virtually on the Deal Driven app. Came across a property right up the street from where I live, and I was able to skip trace it, which is find the owner's information, contact the owner, everything through the Deal Driven app. So now I'm doing it more virtual driving for dollars. Okay, things are opening back up, so I'm going back to my regular way. But I've added that also, the virtual driving for dollars.
Explain to people what virtual driving for dollars is and how our deal driven allows you to do that.
Okay, virtual driving for dollars is basically what I'm doing, y'all. You know, you see me out and about in the videos, except you can do it from the comfort of your home. Like just sitting, you see how I'm sitting right now? You can do driving for dollars, you know, from your house, on your phone. So you don't even have to get out like I'm doing. So it's basically using the app to drive around and look for properties. And then you can go into street mode, you can go down the street, you can look at all the properties right through the phone.
All right, so here's a big question. You're out there driving for dollars physically in a car. You're out there driving for dollars virtually through our deal-driven app. Is there a difference?
Actually, there isn't. I mean, I can tell you from my personal experience, you know, side-by-side comparison, you're looking at the same thing I would be looking at if I was out and about in the street. You know, that's why I was able to get that deal under contract.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing. This is what I was saying a little bit ago, that in today's world, if you do not have technology working for you, you're going to get left in the dust. I mean, you just can't. You know, I mean, literally let's say I went driving for dollars. Let's say you went driving for dollars, right? We would, get in our car, go drive, take 30 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. We can literally pick up your phone now, click a couple buttons, and get the exact same information. Plus, we can do the skip tracing. Remember before you used to send stuff to the office to get skip traced? Now you could skip trace through here. If you want to do direct mail, you could do that. In the next couple of days, I don't even know if you know this, Jamari. In the next couple of days, you're going to be able to do Facebook marketing right through.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, we're putting literally everything in there that you need to generate leads, generate opportunities, and all this. So let's kind of bring this all together. You really are an amazing guy, and you're an amazing guy. You know, this is what I found out. When people say you're an amazing person, it's because somehow you remind them of themselves. So the reason I keep on saying you're an amazing guy, because you remind me of me. I mean, the only deal I did in this business in the beginning was a deal that lost money for me. You know what I mean? So you're like actually way, way, way ahead of me in this business. When I was in this business as long as you have with us, I was just losing. So you're further ahead. But I will also tell you, kind of the reality is there's people listening tonight. There's going to be people listening on the recording that are kind of losing hope for whatever reason. It might be that they didn't do this quick enough. It might be that their husband or wives are like, what are you doing? It could be that they'll never be able to be successful. There's people that, and I hate to say it, but they're about ready to give up. What do you tell a person like that, Jamari?
I tell them, I'm no different from you. I'm not I'm not the biggest real estate expert in the world. I'm just like you. There's no different from me. If I can do it, you can do it. Because it took me a year to get my first deal, right? I didn't make that much on it, but I did close the deal. The only reason why I was able to get to this point is because I never gave up. I have no special skills. I have no special attributes to get me to this point. I stayed consistent and I never gave up. So I know it gets hard. There are times when I felt like I wanted to give up, but if I would have gave up, I would have never saw that first deal. You just have to. What I was thinking about that before this webinar. Like, a lot of people want to close their first deal, right? But here's the thing: if you want to close that first deal, you have to close what I call deal zero. Deal zero basically is the 6 inches of real estate between your two ears. You know, you have to get your mind right. You have to have the right mindset. If you can just stay consistent and stay diligent, I promise you, you'll get the results. But you know, it just is. You gotta have faith. You gotta stay diligent. You gotta and you just gotta stay consistent and listen to the team. Listen to your team. They know what they're talking about. We've all been there. Everybody has what I call a hero story. You know, an origin story. So that's what I would say. Don't give up, because don't quit before the magic happens. Because if you just stay diligent, you don't give up, you will get there.
I love it. I love it. This will be like our exit question. There's people listening tonight that are even like, they're trying to figure out if it makes sense for them to partner with us. For instance, you know, I hear it all the time. People say, "Oh, I could do it all myself. Why do I want to partner with anyone? Forget you, Peter. I could do it all myself." You know, there's people that say, "Well, I have my own money, or I have access to money." Talk about, from your experience specifically, how it's helped to partner with us with the partner-driven model.
Listen, guys, I'm not the most organized person, right? And you know, I'm just a regular person, and I know how to find deals. It's one thing to have your own money. It's one thing to, you know, have a little bit of knowledge. It's one thing to have closed deals. It's another thing to partner with somebody and be plugged into a systematized business, you know? So to the point where I can submit a contract. I work with Laura, I work with Mary, and it's almost, you know, it's almost a no-brainer, you know? As long as the numbers make sense, you plug it into the system, plug into the infrastructure, and just let them do pretty much help you out and do the rest, you know? And then the next thing you know, you're closing the deal. So like I say, plugging into a systematized business, you say you can do it by yourself. A lot of people are like, "I'll do it by yourself." You won't know how difficult it is with all the logistics, with everything that goes on the back end. You know, you won't understand everything that goes into it until you try to do it all yourself. I'm telling y'all, to plug into a well-oiled, systematized infrastructure that Peter has is very powerful. For anybody who hasn't done a deal yet, this is probably the best way you can do it, to partner up with Peter or somebody like this, because they'll help you every step of the way, every single step of the way, from the time you submit the contract in to the time Mary's telling you it's closed. Like, I love it. I love it.
Awesome. Well, listen, Jamari, I can't say enough about you. You're an amazing guy. You're an amazing individual. You're an amazing partner. You're beyond inspirational. I mean, I could tell you, you know, whenever we have you on, whenever you and I communicate, you just, it's not just words of wisdom, which it is. It's just, you're just a really, really, really good guy. I mean, that's the thing. You're inspirational. You got so many attributes of what it takes to be successful. I mean, I cannot wait to do something like this 10 years from now. I mean, literally. I not only from your perspective, but just right now, I'm getting like messages like, it's amazing. Like whenever we have you on, the kind of messages I get from people are they're just amazing. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you personally. I'm so glad you're part of our family. I'm so glad that you are who you are, and just continue, because Jamari, with someone like you, beyond just you, it really is the people that you impact, and you impact a bunch. So listen, I'll let you log out. I'm going to finish off here. Jamari, you're the best. You're absolutely the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Peter. I'm very grateful to be part of the team. Thank y'all.
All right. Thanks, Jamari.
Thanks.
Well, guys, what can I say? I mean, you know, kind of over and out, right? You know, if you can listen to, whether you're a partner or if you want to be a partner, when you listen to someone like Jamari, it should be very clear. It's kind of like, I'm in or I'm out. You know, this is a guy that's overcome challenges. This is a guy that's overcome like the kind of things that we all need to overcome, like fear, financial challenges, you know, 20,000 other things that he didn't even talk about tonight. But here he is now, you know, here he is now. He's a phenomenal guy, but that's what the partner-driven model is all about. It's about finding individuals like Jamari who aren't going to say, well, I'm in this thing for the next couple of days. I'm in this thing for the next couple of months or next couple of weeks. What the partner-driven model is all about, it's really about finding, you know, I'm going to relate myself to Jamari because I was, you know, 22 years ago when I got started, it took me 3 years to get to zero, like literally 3 years of effort, frustration, total crap to just literally be at zero. From the time I got started, 3 years later, I was at absolutely zero. But I was ready. At that point, that got me ready. You know, Jamari's way ahead of where I was. And that's what this model is all about. It's about working with individuals like Jamari and so many other people and doing deals together. And it's like we're battling, we're fighting, we're doing whatever it takes. You know, we want to make more money. We want to be more successful. We want to have more time. We want to create options for our spouses. We want to create opportunities for our kids. It's just, you know, we in essence, we're kind of all in it together. And so, but having said that, I will tell you, we are looking for more partners. You know, we here at Partner Driven, we are ready to help, support, and do more deals. That's what we're all about. So for those of you that are ready to take it kind of to the next level, to the next step, ready to do some deals, you just simply need to go to www.partnerdriven.com, fill out the information there. One of our team members will touch base with you. And before you know it, you could be here with us tonight, like Jamari was, and telling your story and inspiring so many other people. All right, guys, we're done. Over and out. See you next week. Same time, same place. Partner Driven. Thanks.